I request everyone to rise to your feet.
For knights, it's Miss Siva and Mr. Edder. For Kshatriyas, it's Kingsley, that's me, and Miss Sweta. And for Samurais, Miss Diana and Mr. Divakar. Thank you. Darkness symbolizes ignorance. Light, knowledge and understanding. The light expels darkness. I now invite our administrative head, Dr. Umar Ravi, Head of Primary Ms. Gayatri, IBDP Coordinator Ms. Tajinder, MYP Coordinator Ms. Urvashi, and PYP Coordinator Ms. Rajeshwari to light the lamp. The student council is going to receive their badges and sashes. I now invite our PYP coordinator, Ms. Rajeshwari, to do the honors for PYP prefects.
Very happy morning to all of you. Thank you so much for turning in large numbers to encourage the new leaders who have sworn in as the new Student Council members of 2023. This ceremony is a solemn occasion where these newly elected Student Council members, along with the class representatives, will now become the custodians of the principles and practices that animate and give life to HUS. So in that sense, they will be now taking over how the school will run and how it is expected to be. So in that sense, they have a huge responsibility. All right. Now, how can a little girl like Sai Krisha in grade 1 can take up the load of a leader? It's a skill. Leadership is a skill. And I would request all of you who have assumed office today to just go through the biographies and autobiographies of great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Subhash Chandra Bose. You have to have those experiences which will be internalized in your hearts and minds when you read those stories so that you can live up to that responsibility entrusted on you by your peers, right? So my duty here is to narrate one such life lesson from a great leader so that you can get inspired and start reading such inspiring experiences of great leaders because you have, believe it or not, step into the shoes of a leader. Okay? Yeah. So now, how many of you can identify with this year and date? May 10, 1994 was a historic moment in the history of South Africa. It was a great moment, a historic moment. The entire world was actually thrilled to have that moment. 1994, May 10. Any guesses? Yeah? Mandela. Great. So it was the day when Nelson Mandela was elected as the first democratically elected president of South Africa. And that too, after long 27 years of imprisonment, right from 1963 to 1990. These 27 years, he was being imprisoned on charges of sedition and sabotage because he was fighting for the rights of the marginalized black people. So the white people were having this apartheid system wherein the black people were treated as subhumans, like cattle. So he was championing their cause and trying to have a democratically elected government which will be treating everybody on the same line. So he was imprisoned for 27 years and he was in one of the prison cells which was in Robben Island. And for 18 years he was here and then he was shifted to some other cell in some other city. But while he was in Robben Island, he was occupying a cell which, whose size was just 5 feet to 6 feet. A very confined cell, and he was not given any bed, no plumbing system, nothing. He has to sleep on the floor and he was not given any access to any outside information and he was completely cut off from the rest of the world. Imagine a person living 27 years in such a confinement, then coming back as the president of the country. And what did he do? On the first day of swearing in, he invited 3 jailers who held his keys to the prison cell as very important persons, VIP guests. He invited those 3 jailers who actually were responsible for the suffering that Nelson Mandela was undergoing for 27 years in prison cell. Now, as future leaders, I would like to know from you what this act of Nelson Mandela was conveying to the world in large. What lesson Nelson Mandela was trying to convey? What is the lesson, leadership lesson you can take out of this act of Nelson Mandela? Can I have the mic? It's just your thought which comes to your mind. What is the lesson Nelson Mandela was trying to teach all of us by inviting the jailers who were responsible for his torture in the cell? Anybody? No? From here? Any idea that comes to mind what lesson he was trying to teach? Just try. All right.
So she has.
Yes, Abby. Please go on, come on. Because you're going to be the future leader, please.
Because it's that the enemies that empower you.
Enemies will empower you.
Yeah.
Okay. Point noted.
It's probably because he wanted to teach the world that even if somebody does something, it's always nice to give them a second chance.
Wow, great. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, Sai Krisha, I can miss you. I'm sorry, I'm making Gayatri to move around.
When someone makes a mistake, it's a good time to make someone get another chance.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, thank you so much for your responses, and I'm now convinced that the student council is in the safe hands. Okay? So, why Nelson Mandela did this? Because when he assumed office, everybody was fearing Mandela is out for a revenge. He is going to take revenge on all those fellows who wronged him and all the white people who wronged the black people. So that is going to be a bloodbath. So the world was fearing. The white people were fearing in South Africa about their safety. So Nelson Mandela, through this one act, one gesture of forgiveness to the persons who wronged him in the jail, by inviting them as chief guests to that swearing-in ceremony, he sent a message to the world that I am up for reconciliation, not for revenge. Revenge is about the past, reconciliation is about the future. South Africa cannot afford a one-way street of destruction through this revenge. It deserves a growth path, and that can be done only by collaborative efforts of white and black people together. So that is a lesson you can take. You can pick up so many lessons by reading the histories of the leaders. Okay, please do that. It's now your time to inculcate those traits and values which will stand you in good stead when you are carrying out your responsibilities as student council members. Okay, now your responsibility is not just about taking care of yourself. Your responsibility is now to take care of the group of people who are under your care. And it's imperative that you train yourselves to be good leaders. Leadership is a skill, it's not a born trait. Your peers have entrusted that you can be a good leader, and it's now time to live up to the trust that your peers have believed in you. And for that, you need to have a lot of guidance that we will provide you, and also your proactive nature that will stand you in good stead also. Right? So in life, always remember, there are 4 stages. One is the survival stage, where people actually look for basic amenities to live. And then there is another stage, which is the safe stage, where you get everything you want and you are settled. There is a third stage, which is a successful stage, where you achieve success in whatever you are doing and people are prizing you for your talent and whatever the skills you have. Most people settle down on the third level. I am successful, that's enough for me. There is a 4th level, which only very few people reach. That's a state of significance. Significance is a state where the world at large is benefited by your skills and talents and your contribution. That's where few leaders fall in. Like the one I mentioned, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, they fall in that significance level of life, where the world is benefited through their life. So I want you all to take this lesson and be future leaders who will make India proud. Alright? So you may think that why this guy is giving a speech like this much significance for this small role. No, it's not a small role. Class representative, you are in charge of 20-25 people under your care. They will come up with many issues. This is not good. So they will have a lot of their ideas and concerns. So you should have that skill to listen patiently and then put it forward to ask for action. Okay? So you are indeed important in the context of the school. Okay? So with that message, I wish all of you a very encouraging and successful stint as student council members, and may you make a difference to HUS and our school grow from strength to strength. Thank you so much. Have a great day, all of you. Thank you.
Years after years, it reminds us of the trust and confidence that we put in our newly elected cabinet. Donning the mantle of responsibility, they all pledge to dispense their duties to the best of their abilities and abide by rules and regulations of the school. The chosen leaders will impart their duties honestly and without being biased, while keeping in mind the values upheld by the school and keeping the school flag soaring high. I request the elected student body council to stand up for oath taking, the prefects. I now call upon our head girl, Tanisha Balamurugan, to lead the oath taking by the student council.
Council of HUS.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
To discharge.
To discharge.
To the best of our abilities.
To the best of our abilities.
And in all sincerity.
And in all sincerity.
The duties.
The duties.
With which.
With which.
We have been entrusted.
We have been entrusted.
And promise.
And promise.
To abide.
To abide.
By the Student Council Constitution.
By the Student Council Constitution.
You may be seated. Right, now I call upon the school head boy Adithya Karthikeyan to give his acceptance speech.
Everyone. I think a couple of days ago when everyone was, when the current members of the student council were announced, I still remember a friend of mine, he asked me, how are you feeling now that you're head boy of the school? Is this something that you've looked forward, have you looked forward to gaining this position? And I only told him one thing. I said, big shoes to fill in. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually say that, thankfully. But what I did say was, I said that I didn't know how I felt, because that's the truth. Because last year, even though I did serve in the student council, I don't think I've truly realized the potential that this council has to offer. The potential of each and every single student present in the student council. I think that last year we may have represented the voices of all students, but one of the things that I want to do this year, one of the things that I think every single member on the stage and over here wants to do, is not just to ensure that all voices are heard, but also to ensure that all of these ideas, all these voices actually become something. I joined the school about 10 years ago, and I've seen multiple changes in the school, and I still remember some of the changes that the very first student council made 6-7 years ago. And I just hope that now, some of the PYP students sitting here, some of the prefects, I hope that, second graders, third graders, first graders, I hope that 10 years from now, when they maybe run for head boy or head girl, I hope that they will remember the work that we action this year, not next year, not the year after that, this year. That's what I hope for. Not only a year that's I think the purpose of this body is not just to ensure that, we plan events, we have very eventful and fun here, not just a comfortable learning environment, but to ensure that the school is constantly evolving and constantly changing for the better. That is all I hope for. Thank you everyone for being here, students, parents, and teachers, and I cannot wait to get started. Thank you.
Thank you, Adithya. We really look forward to your actions, and we wish you all the very best for your future efforts and endeavors here at HUS. Now, I call upon the school head girl, Tanisha Balamurugan, to give her acceptance speech.
Where there is no struggle, there is no strength. Oprah Winfrey. It is clear to me that I did not resonate with this quote up until this year's Student Council election. The competition for this role was immense, and all for good reason. The honor of representing HUS as the head girl carries responsibility and is a privilege that I am so very grateful to hold. When I joined this school 1 year ago, I spoke to a senior about joining Student Council. I won't have a chance. They don't know me yet, I told her. I'm new. I'd like to call getting elected that year the resulting efforts of my incredible campaigning, but the truth is, I ran uncontested for the role of the Knights House captain. Over the past year, the students have come to me with small concerns that they've had in their classes and told me about ideas that they'd like to see implemented at the school. There was, and still is, something about the fact that they could come to me to represent their voice and voice their concerns that fills me with great joy. It was also then that I realized who I was to the student body. Yes, they didn't get to pick and choose between contestants in my particular case, but I was no longer a random face. I was someone that they could come to as a leader. Throughout high school, I have moved from school to school, year after year. But when I joined the school, I noticed a sense of unity and acceptance of every student's input that made the school stand out to me. One of my favorite authors once said, "You do not build a business, you build people, and then people build a business." I think that applies almost directly to HUS. We as a school are so close-knit, and after serving in the student council last year, I've directly seen the importance that is given to students' needs and opinions. The students do in fact build the school, where every voice is considered, much like the selection itself. Right before the results were announced, Siva sir told my class that it isn't about who the best candidate for the role is, but who the students think the best candidate for the role could be, even if in reality they may not be the most ideal fit. I'd like to thank the student body for believing in me to fill this position, and I vow to reaffirm their decision and uphold their trust with my actions over this academic year. And with that, I would like to say it is my utmost pleasure to serve as this year's head girl of HUS. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha. We again wish you and bless you for all your plans and your executions of your plans in the future. Right. William Arthur Ward stated, "Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it." He already wrapped a present, Mr. Maharaj is going to give. I now invite Mr. Maharaj to express his gratitude to all who made this ceremony a success.
Good morning to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Student Council Batch 2022-23 on this memorable occasion. Behind every successful program, there lies the manifold efforts of our committed teachers, admin staff, technical staff, and housekeeping staff. We wholeheartedly thank them for their immense contribution in helping with all kinds of arrangements for this ceremony. Thank you. We thank our coordinators, Ms. Tejender, Ms. Raji, Ms. Urvashi, for their tireless support for this ceremony. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And we thankful to our admin head, Ms. Uma Ravi, for her valuable support and encouragement in all our efforts. Thank you, ma'am. We are grateful to our head of primary, Ms. Gayatri, for her stewardship, support, vision, and commitment. Thank you, ma'am. Our sincere thanks to our esteemed director for his kindness, his interest, his hospitality, and for continuing to inspire us to come with zeal and dedication. Thank you, sir. Finally, it is important that we acknowledge the unconditional love and support given to us by our parents. Where we stand today is a result of a combination of our hard work and commitment. We know that we can go further with renewed confidence that you will be there to celebrate our victories. Thank you, parents. I would like to end my speech with a quote. Leaders are not born, but they are created. Leaders are not born, but they are created. Every child in a school is making a leader for tomorrow. Let the world be proud of you because you are born to lead the world. We once again thank you all for your support in making this ceremony a great success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bharat sir. Since no academic celebration is complete without the national anthem of a beloved country, let us all stand up to honor the beautiful land of India.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now we have two more things on the list. Number one is a photo session and then this student council retreats. So I request the director and the leadership team on stage for the photo shoot.